My precious child, in this moment, as weariness weighs heavy on your spirit, I want you to feel my strength beginning to flow through every fiber of your being. Like morning dew, refreshing parched ground, like fresh rain reviving withered flowers, my divine energy is seeping into every tired place within you. I see how exhausted you've become, how depleted your resources feel, how drained your spirit has grown, and I am here to restore you. The fatigue you feel isn't just physical, it's soul deep. You've carried burdens that were never meant to be yours alone. You've shouldered responsibilities that have taxed your strength. You've weathered storms that have depleted your reserves. But beloved, hear my heart. This season of exhaustion is coming to an end. I am your restorer, your refresher, your reviver, and I am actively at work within you now. Think of how I restored Elijah when he collapsed under the broom tree, physically and emotionally spent. I didn't rebuke his exhaustion. I met him in it. I sent angels to minister to his needs. I gave him rest before the journey ahead. I'm doing the same for you now. Your depletion isn't a disappointment to me. It's an invitation for my strength to be made perfect in your weakness. I understand the complexity of your tiredness. It's not just your body that's weary. It's your mind that's overwhelmed, your emotions that are drained, your spirit that's depleted. Like a well that's been drawn from too often, without being replenished, you feel empty. But I am the living water, and I am pouring myself into every empty space within you. The weight of expectations, both others and your own, has pressed heavily upon you. You've tried to be strong for so long, tried to keep pushing through, tried to maintain the appearance of having it all together. But beloved, hear my gentle whisper. It's okay to acknowledge your need for restoration. It's okay to rest in my strength instead of striving in your own. Watch how differently I handle your weakness compared to how the world responds. Where others might judge, I nurture. Where others might demand more effort, I offer rest. Where others might see failure, I see an opportunity to display my strength through you. Your depletion isn't a setback. It's a setup for experiencing my supernatural empowerment. I see how you've questioned yourself in this season of weakness. Why can't I handle this? Why am I so tired? Why don't I have what it takes? But beloved, these questions come from a false assumption that you were meant to carry life's burdens in your own strength. You weren't. You were designed to function in partnership with my infinite power. The exhaustion you feel isn't a sign of failure. It's evidence that you're ready for a divine exchange. Like an empty vessel being positioned under a flowing fountain, your depletion is actually perfect positioning for my infilling. Where your strength ends, mine begins. Where your resources run dry, my river runs deep. Remember how I met the children of Israel in their wilderness weariness? I didn't demand they find their own strength. I provided manna from heaven and water from rocks. I didn't expect them to navigate alone. I gave them a cloud by day and fire by night. The same faithful God who sustained them is sustaining you. Your strength may fail, but mine never does. I'm not just offering you a momentary boost of energy. I'm initiating a complete restoration of your strength. Like a tree being restored from roots to branches, like a body being renewed cell by cell, I am revitalizing every aspect of your being. This renewal isn't superficial, it's supernatural, reaching places that natural rest can't touch. The enemy wants you to believe your depletion is permanent, that you'll never regain your strength, that this exhaustion is your new normal. But hear my truth. This is merely a season of transition. Like winter giving way to spring, like night yielding to dawn, your season of depletion is yielding to my divine restoration. As you reflect on this truth, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to join our community of faith and inspiration. Notice the subtle signs of renewal already beginning within you. Those moments of unexpected peace, that's my restoration at work. Those brief surges of hope, that's my strength rising within you. Those glimpses of joy breaking through the tiredness, that's my revival beginning to manifest in your spirit. I'm not just restoring you to your previous level of strength. I'm elevating you to a new dimension of supernatural empowerment. Like an eagle molting to grow stronger feathers, this season of weakness is actually preparation for soaring higher than ever before. What feels like depletion is actually transition into greater strength. Your weakness has not disqualified you. It has positioned you for a greater experience of my power. Like Paul, who learned that my strength is made perfect in weakness, you're discovering that your depletion is the perfect canvas for displaying my supernatural ability. When you are weak, then you are strong, because my power rests upon you. I see how you've tried to hide your exhaustion, how you've attempted to push through in your own strength, how you've felt guilty for needing rest. But beloved, I never meant for you to be self-sufficient. Your need for my strength isn't a flaw in your design. It's a feature that keeps you connected to me, dependent on my power, yielded to my ability. The restoration I'm working in you now goes deeper than physical renewal. Like a master craftsman repairing a precious vessel, I'm strengthening you from the inside out. Those deep places of fatigue that no one else sees, I see them. Those hidden wells of weariness that you can't explain, I understand them. Those core areas of depletion that rest alone can't touch, I'm healing them. Watch how my strength begins to manifest differently in this season of restoration. Where you once operated on willpower, you'll find supernatural enablement. Where you previously pushed through on determination, you'll experience divine empowerment. Where you used to rely on your own resources, you'll tap into heavenly reserves. This isn't just recovery. It's revolutionary transformation. I'm changing the way you carry burdens in this season. Like teaching an overloaded traveler to use proper equipment, I'm showing you how to lean into my strength rather than straining under pressure. The weights that once crushed you will become opportunities to experience my supernatural lifting power. The loads that exhausted you will become platforms for displaying my enabling grace. Your spiritual muscles are being rebuilt in this time. Like physical therapy strengthening injured tissue, I'm restoring function to areas weakened by life's demands. But this isn't just about returning to previous capacity. It's about developing new strength, greater endurance, deeper resilience through partnership with my spirit. Notice how your recovery pattern is changing. Where natural rest once provided temporary relief, you're now experiencing supernatural restoration. Where physical sleep once offered brief reprieve, you're now finding spiritual renewal. Where worldly diversions once gave momentary escape, you're now discovering divine rejuvenation. This isn't just rest, it's resurrection power at work within you. I'm rewiring your response to pressure in this season. Like an electrical system being upgraded to handle greater power, you're being strengthened to carry heavier voltages of my glory. The very challenges that once drained you will become conduits for displaying my supernatural strength. What exhausted you before will energize you now as you learn to draw from my infinite resources. The weariness you've carried wasn't wasted. It was working something in you. Like resistance training building stronger muscles, your season of weakness has been developing spiritual capacity. Every moment of depletion has been preparation for greater infilling. Every instance of exhaustion has been training for deeper endurance. Your energy sources are being divinely realigned. Instead of drawing from the shallow wells of human effort, You're being connected to the bottomless depths of my spirit. Like a tree extending its roots to underground streams, you're developing direct access to my supernatural strength. This isn't just about managing energy. It's about tapping into eternal power. I see how the prolonged season of tiredness has affected your hope. Fatigue has colored your perspective. Exhaustion has dimmed your vision. Weariness has muted your expectations. But beloved, this is changing now. As my strength floods your being, hope is being restored, vision is being renewed, expectations are being divinely elevated. Watch how differently you'll handle demanding seasons after this restoration. Like an athlete emerging stronger, after proper training, you'll face challenges with new stamina. The situations that once depleted you will become opportunities to display my sustaining power. The circumstances that drained you will become platforms for demonstrating my divine energy. The strength I'm restoring to you now isn't just for survival, it's for supernatural living. Like an eagle renewed to soar higher than before, you're being empowered to rise above the ordinary. The very areas where weakness once limited, you will become showcases of my divine power. What drained you before will now display my glory through you. I'm changing your relationship with rest in this season. No longer will it be a last resort when you're depleted, but a first response to my invitation. Like Mary choosing the better part at my feet, you're learning that strength flows from presence before performance. This isn't just about physical restoration. It's about spiritual positioning for continuous empowerment. Notice how your inner dialogue is shifting as my strength infuses you. Where you once said, "I can't," you're beginning to declare, "I can" through Christ. Where you previously focused on your limitations, you're starting to recognize my limitless power within you. Where weakness once defined you, my strength is now defining you. The way you carry responsibility is being transformed. Like a burden being shifted from your shoulders to mine, you're learning to operate in my strength rather than your own. Tasks that once exhausted you will become opportunities to experience my enabling grace. Duties that drained you will become displays of my divine empowerment. I'm restoring your emotional resilience in this season. Like a broken bone healing stronger, at the point of fracture, the very places where life has worn you down are being reinforced with supernatural strength. Your capacity to feel, to care, to engage isn't being diminished. It's being divinely protected and empowered. Watch how differently you bounce back from challenges now. Where depletion once took days to overcome, you'll find supernatural recovery. Where exhaustion previously lingered, you'll experience quick renewal. Where weariness used to settle in, you'll sense immediate restoration. This isn't just improved stamina, it's divine rejuvenation at work. Your spiritual sensitivity is actually increasing through this restoration. Like a muscle becoming stronger through proper rest and exercise, your spirit is being strengthened through this process of divine renewal. What seemed like shutdown was actually set up for greater spiritual capacity and deeper divine connection. I'm rewiring your stress response in this season. Instead of anxiety depleting your strength, it will drive you deeper into my power. Like a tree whose roots grow deeper in storms, pressure will push you into greater dependence on my supernatural resources. What once drained you will now direct you to my endless supply of strength. The areas where you felt most weak are becoming channels for my greatest power. Like light shining brightest through cracks, my strength will be most evident in places of your acknowledged weakness. Don't hide your need for restoration. It's the very platform for displaying my supernatural empowerment. Your understanding of strength is being divinely upgraded. No longer will you measure it by human standards of endless doing, but by divine standards of yielded being. Like a river that flows with power, not through striving, but through yielding to its source. Your greatest strength will flow from surrender to my power. The restoration I'm working in you isn't bound by natural laws or limited by physical constraints, like the widow's oil that never ran dry, like the burning bush that wasn't consumed. My supernatural strength operates outside the boundaries of natural limitation. What seems impossible in the natural becomes possible as my divine energy flows through you. Watch how your recovery patterns are being supernaturally accelerated. Where exhaustion once lingered for weeks, you'll experience renewal in days. Where depletion used to settle in your bones, you'll feel resurrection power quickening your being. This isn't just natural healing, it's supernatural restoration, reforming you from the inside out. I'm establishing new rhythms of strength in your life, like a heart finding its proper beat, like a dancer moving in perfect time. You're learning to pulse with my divine energy. No more extreme swings between exhaustion and temporary revival. You're being stabilized in sustainable supernatural strength. Your capacity for warfare is being restored and enhanced. Like a soldier receiving superior weapons and training, you're being equipped to battle from a position of strength rather than survival. The very conflicts that once drained you will become opportunities to display my empowering presence. What exhausted you before will showcase my power now. Notice how differently your body responds to stress in this season of restoration. Where tension once created knots, my peace releases ease. Where pressure previously produced pain, my presence brings comfort. Where demands formerly led to depletion, my strength sustains you. This isn't just stress management. It's supernatural transformation of your response system. I'm rewriting your story of weakness into a testimony of divine strength. Like Joseph's pit becoming a pathway to the palace, your season of depletion is becoming a showcase of my supernatural restoration. The very areas where you felt most weak will become the greatest displays of my power through you. Your spiritual muscles are being developed in new ways. Like an athlete training for greater challenges, you're being strengthened not just to endure, but to excel. The resistance that once wore you down will become the very means of building supernatural stamina. What drained you before will develop you now. Watch how your energy levels respond differently to giving and serving now. Where ministry once depleted you, it will energize you. Where serving previously exhausted you, it will invigorate you. Where giving used to drain you, it will strengthen you. This isn't just better energy management. It's supernatural empowerment, flowing through divine purpose. The way you carry authority is being transformed in this restoration. Like a recharged battery operating at full power, you're being energized to exercise spiritual authority with confidence. No more operating from depletion. You're being established in a place of supernatural strength and divine empowerment. Your capacity for God's presence is being expanded through this restoration. Like a vessel being enlarged to contain more, you're being strengthened to carry greater measures of my glory. The very weight that once crushed you will become the glory that crowns you. What overwhelmed you before will overflow through you now. The strength I'm pouring into you now isn't just for your personal restoration. It's for kingdom purpose. Like a river that's not only filled, but overflows to nourish others, you're being empowered to become a channel of supernatural strength to those around you. The very areas where you experienced weakness will become platforms for ministering divine power to others. Watch how differently you impact atmospheres as my strength flows through you. Where you once absorbed the heaviness around you, you'll now transform it. Where you previously wilted under negative energy, you'll now change it. Where you used to be drained by others' needs, you'll now carry my refreshing presence into every situation. I'm establishing a new normal in your life, one where supernatural strength is your default setting. Like a tree planted by living waters, constantly drawing nourishment from an endless source, you're being rooted and grounded in my divine power. No more cycling between strength and weakness. You're being stabilized in sustainable supernatural empowerment. Your capacity for carrying my presence is reaching new levels through this restoration. Like a vessel not only repaired but upgraded, you're being strengthened to contain and release greater measures of my glory. The weight of my presence that once overwhelmed you will become the very power that sustains you. Notice how your spiritual authority operates differently now. Where you once spoke from depletion, you now declare from divine fullness. Where you previously struggled to stand, you now establish kingdom dominion. Where weakness once silenced you, my strength now emboldens you. This isn't just recovery, it's revolutionary empowerment. I'm transforming your understanding of strength. In this season, true power isn't found in never growing weary, but in knowing how to consistently draw from my infinite resources. Like an eagle that instinctively knows how to catch rising thermal winds, you're learning to continually rise on the currents of my spirit. The areas where fatigue once marked you are becoming testimonies of my sustaining grace. Like Paul, who learned to boast in weakness so my power could rest upon him, you're discovering that acknowledged weakness becomes the gateway for demonstrated strength. Your transparency about needing restoration is becoming a pathway for others to encounter my power. Watch how differently you handle long-term challenges now. Where endurance once failed, you'll find supernatural stamina. Where persistence previously wavered, you'll experience divine determination. Where strength used to fade, you'll tap into endless spiritual reserves. This isn't just improved stamina, it's divine empowerment, redefining your limitations. Your spiritual senses are being sharpened through this restoration. Like an athlete whose trained body instinctively responds to signals, you're becoming more attuned to the rhythms of my spirit. You'll know when to press forward and when to pull back, when to expend energy and when to receive restoration, all guided by my wisdom. The mantle of strength I'm placing on you now carries generational impact. Like Elijah's cloak falling on Elisha, the supernatural empowerment you're receiving will overflow to strengthen others. Your story of restoration is becoming a legacy of divine power that will inspire and activate faith in those who follow. Beloved, embrace this divine restoration fully. Don't resist the process. Don't rush the strengthening. Don't shortcut the supernatural work I'm doing. Every moment of this journey is purposeful. Every step of this restoration is powerful. Every aspect of this strengthening is transformational. Rise up now in this new strength. Let my power flow unhindered through your being. Allow my supernatural energy to infuse every tired place, every weary space, every depleted area within you. For this is your season of divine restoration, your time of supernatural strengthening, your moment of holy empowerment. Remember, my strength never fails, never dims, never weakens. It's not subject to circumstance, not limited by situation, not dependent on condition. As you remain connected to me, this divine power flows continuously, restores consistently, and strengthens persistently. Step fully into this restoration, my beloved. Your time of supernatural strengthening is here. Your season of divine empowerment has come. Your moment of holy restoration is now. Amen.